Good morning. Or whatever it is, wherever you are. Alright, so I made sure not to overwrite the game log this time. I made a copy, and then I went through and sanitized a few things. Because it will record your email and login sequence. So I think I remember seeing that I left frame rate in here at some point. Unless this is from frame measurement. Yeah, so I may have left that in. Oh, yeah, we need one more window. Okay, so I was on that. I guess we're going to be looking at hitch testing first, if there's any changes to make. Alright, so sync and cycle are two things. Frame. Maybe the frame rate's not me? Oh yeah, sections of the update loop. I don't think I looked, there were any of these. Yeah, that's just barely over. It's not a giant hitch. I mean, we're talking like when it happens like a second or two. None of these are significant. And I obviously need a higher threshold because most of them are 0.2. So, I mean, it went slow there, but it's not going to cause that huge hitch. It looks like frame rate might not be me. Is that minor gems? Yeah, past day or two was good. Day the hell has been up again. That's game STO. M-pin frame rate. True. What switches that off? Maybe nothing. If something derives from that, it can turn it off. This is game scene handler. Okay. That's just a thing. Alright, so our other... So we thought updates, why I broke this down, but the things I'm measuring are not the spots that it's having problems. So we've got frame, no. Cycle, barely. Okay, so that was a big one. Well, that was that was from 0. We have some big things when we're starting up, and then some barely overs. Okay, that's 1/10 of a second. And I actually think cycle is measuring frame to frame times. Yeah, so 18 is actually pretty common, even though it's not technically maintaining frame rate. 18, 20, 23. Let's see if it's 16. You'd have to get to like 32 to be a full time double, but there's obviously a few short frames here, but really, there's a lot of short or long frames, and I don't really care about these. Maybe I'll search for like cycle, not 0. Sync is never an issue. All right, so cycle time is too commonly over to be useful right now. So 18 get a lot of noise. Probably want to be like over 0.3. So we get lots of 0.2s. Sync itself is never over. And sections, I think we had 0.2 a lot. And 0.01 is about our measurement precision, so we occasionally get 2 milliseconds doing one of these things. Now, is this notes and slips, tutorials, moving objects, hints and tools, moving objects, tutorials. Now, the way the milliseconds tick up, there might be something to the fact that an area takes longer is more likely to collect a millisecond change. But it doesn't necessarily mean this is it. Moving objects, tutorials, notes and slips, hints and tools. Yeah, so notes and slips, moving objects, tutorials seem to be some of the bigger ones. So we've got moving objects, mouse over is nothing. Notes and slips, hints and tools, tutorials. What was it? What was the... I don't remember any of the search terms. Frame batch, time measures. So we've got draw start time, message process, update start time. So I was attempting to capture update time. Because the other day when I was switching FPS on, the update time seemed to often get the hitch. Not always, but sometimes. So I thought sections there's me, message process. Broke up all the sections of that. Maybe we skipped map pull mode because it shouldn't be happening. Okay, so you were doing section start time. Oh, well, there's updates. Okay, that's setting the time measure. That's resetting it. It's capturing it before it sets it? 14, 60, 20. Oh, right, I was searching backwards. Do we declare it there? We do section start time. Why are you here? 14, 16, show it. And that appears to be completely useless. Did I do that? No, that's just dead code. No, that's 23. Oh. So we measure it at 16. Oh, okay. Like time measures one. Time measures 1 plus equals. Yeah, because it's accumulating. And then we do 23 to 24. Time measures 1 plus equals. Oh. I may have missed that. So what's in you? Well, there's map pull mode. But this is not map pull mode. And we've got some typing stuff. Camera adjustment, which is the thing we've been touching. Well, there's moving objects. Didn't I have a section for that? And there's our run code that we changed. Flip. There's some first map load stuff. I think I missed that whole section. Okay, there's only 2 of those. Oh, message processes in the middle of update? Yeah, these are all in the teens. Alright, so we need to reset you as well. And there's probably multiple sections here. So, we've got map pull mode, which really shouldn't be going off. This might just be a little adjunct to it, though. Yeah. About to move off screen. Okay, so this is camera stuff. More moving objects. So we've got location speeds, that's kind of a small one. Then moving the client can start showing pending action animation. Yeah, that feels like a different thing though. Player action pending. Animation. And agree with their position. Move and act. Queued action. Okay, so yeah, so this is playing queued actions. Looks like. We've got flip. This is like loading progress. Oops. First map load done. All right, compile check. Yeah, I don't necessarily expect to see anything yet. Yeah. Yeah, we got the first one. And that's it. So we'll have to watch that again, see if that will give us any better indicators. Well, and the changed Lebanon cycle let us actually kind of maybe see where the big cycles happened. Uh, so we've got a big graph layout problem, and it's kind of a pain to build graphs in the current environment. So what we need is a bunch of fake living objects I guess the easiest thing we'd have it following our actual character. Where do you add a live object? It would be in a player update for the first update of that player, right? Don't exist yet because creating them has not been received. Assume they always arrive in the same PU message. Okay, so we get a brand new live object here. This is your basic brand new player stuff. Ooh, we've got buffers. And then we fill all this stuff in. So this is like I guess we end up copying this object? Is that how this works? Or is this just to receive the data? Whoa. And then we end up using this object to update some other player later. I think this is just receiving the data. Existing equals, existing not equal to null, existing not equal to null. Existing not equal to null. Existing not equal to null. Already held as pending. Existing not equal to null. Existing not equal to null. Existing not equal to null. Else. Creation sound. Certain age order. Push. Does that make a copy of the object? Must, I guess. Yeah, this is just an else. So many fields. What we actually have to do insert it as a game object. So this is for a completely unknown player state, which might actually be fine. So where was I doing graph layout? So we've got draw leader label. I think the rest of the stuff might be inline. Ooh, that's pretty high up. I could maybe see missing some definitions. Hmm. Hmm. Now, of course, when this actually happens, we got a player ID. Well, at this point, we could probably just start from 1. Whoa. That was the wrong button. Leaving this all 0 might not actually work out that well. Okay. So this is some stuff we might need to think about. Now, this probably expects to have like player ID and things filled in. And then youngest last. Well, I'm not going to be that fussed about the order. Our ID when we're not youngest on server. Huh. I probably don't want to mess with that. In fact, figuring out when to trigger this could be... Maybe I do it the first time we open the graph. So things we need to fix. Is it just ID? And I guess for simplicity, now we're not going to get an actual leadership update here that will set all this stuff. And I think all of that code is tied into receiving the message. So we're actually going to have to fudge this a little bit. That would make you 1. The color is going to be all messed up. I guess following us would be technically true. Oh, does that also trigger graph rebuilds? Well, I might be able to force a graph rebuild by playing with some other characters. All right, does that compile? No. Get our live object doesn't exist yet. Oh, that means I have to have access to a member variable, doesn't it? No, it's going to be what, int? That's a member variable. Although it's just calling get live object, which is also a member variable. Game objects, I think, is a member. Oh, nope. Okay. Oh, but we've got an RID. Uh... No. What? Oh, that's right. He likes to do all capitals. Your local variable. Int RID. That's getting shout out. Well, the ID is the only thing I think we needed. Without getting into, like, colors and things. All right, when do we trigger you? No, it's H. Oh, it's just a show. It's just a flag. I don't know how else to get when things are properly initialized. That's the server. Too many windows. Oh, right. They need names. Or I need to do... I need to do something to force a graph rebuild. Maybe I just need 2 players so that I can actually do leadership stuff. Oh. Okay, so that one actually crashed. The black makes me think that's their leadership color. Yeah, you're the baby. The baby should have a color, right? Okay, so viewing me as the head of that graph, which would have got another player to crashes things. All right, let's go and get a clean log. Oh. Yeah, they're just not getting updated. And maybe I don't have enough information? Maybe lots of nameless people have an issue? Well, and otherwise invalid people. Oh, okay, so yes, that forced a graph rebuild. We still have some overlap here. And they are different. And we still have a small overlap problem. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Oh, that might be just edge of screen. Yeah, okay, that's just edge of screen. All right, so for this to be a practical tool, I need to figure out the graph rebuild. Oh, there's an update leadership. I assumed it was in the... Okay. For some reason, I thought that was just inline. Okay, that's pretty wide. It's not... Right, because these all get added, so they get overlapped. It's not actually... Well, okay, so you can't really see the overlap because of the way things cover themselves up. And that is going to be a hook to disable it later. All right. Now, one thing about the patches is you don't have an easy way to just kind of get reset back. Well, I guess actually that update leadership is going to be probably doing all of our coordinate stuff. Well, actually, I think this is an existing function. And then we added like 2 clauses. 2? Okay, so that's drawing it. That's drawing it. Update leadership. Okay, so I've only seen that one. Oh, and this stuff was all debugging. All right, so right now, We have a width variable, and it's set based on typical name size. We've got, looks like we're doing a spacing of 64. And I need more water. I'll be back in a bit. All right. You're good? Yep. All right, you're watching the kids? Okay. And then this needs bowl with corn kernels. Yep.
Oh, geez. It's still exploding. I'm sorry, but you're past rest. That means your health is still regenerating. That was a heck of a trap. I did not know that. Like, I have never actually come in here. That was crazy. I just turn around and there's nothing but like grenade markers across my screen. I'm like, oh shoot. That was not good. You blew up like half the parking lot.
Okay. Thought there is another act. Huh? Well, that was a successful run, I guess.
Here, I'll let you out, and then I'll kill you. Ow.
Rip. No, he didn't get XP. He did, but not much. Because he didn't kill it. Then let's kill this thing.
My apartment is now a single room, so it's not such a concern. This is why I don't want them idling in the cold biomes.
And we're back. All right, then what do you do? All right, then we offset X by stuff, and this is where I got myself really confused. Okay, and then offset your Y by your leader's position. You get your following. Offset position is leader follower width. Yeah, so there's lots of judgments about X versus Y and stuff here. Leader offset pause, leader graph pause. When you've forgotten how your structure worked. Leader offset pause. Oh, I think one is global position and one is relative to our leader. So the positives and negatives on the graph pause Y don't seem to work out. Because we do a full reset of it. Man, no, because we know we're using the Y there. It's all X. How do we add those? Because that would say that would be moving down. Oh, leader graph pause. But if we go through in leadership level order, so this might not even matter. No, because that's leader graph. That leader graph pause would then be assigned. So this might be a little bit of a fudge. It's possible that this should be like negative 64 is a fudge. So that's just an initial position. To find our leader, we've got an X. That would depend on the width setting. And this width starts to turn. Actually, width doesn't. Yeah, so the width still becomes height and still kind of matters. So we were 64 with some separation before. So it's almost like we want to replace this entire thing. So width and becomes something much smaller. And then these become X. So if it was 128 for 1, does that mean these would have to be wide? Okay, you're the same. And your Y, you're the same. You would print Y. All right, why, 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 oh why, x. Uh-oh. There's this weird thing where the server crashes. I don't know if it's like a disconnected Eve dies or something. It doesn't seem to affect the regular servers. Now you see, I went to check that last time, and it was fine. Ooh. Okay. We're going through our leadership rebuild. One follows 60. What are you? Oh, yeah, that's a pointer. Everybody's following 60. Level 1, level 0. Do I have my leadership level wrong? Maybe I do. Maybe you're all supposed to be 0. I mean, that all gets kind of reset anyway. And follows 60, level 1. So we get to the first thing. We're printing out minus something, and we've got a problem. So somewhere around here, we're getting down to this stuff. And doing follower width L. That's an equals. Okay, leader graph position Y equals leader offset position Y. Oh no, leader graph pause Y, leader position Y. Negative 144. Leader position, leader offset, follower width. So that's actually not an accurate representation of the formula. But it doesn't like printing follower width. There's a leadership mechanic in the game, and it's less of an issue than it used to be. One of the things I found out by doing it is that the hierarchies are very flat. I wonder if it's useful to have a pseudo-real player in. This is for 1 Hour, 1 Life. It's a game by Jason Rohr. But it's public source, so I like to hack on it. Let me see if getting another player in. Well, I'm trying to like add dummy players because it's only visible when you have a large the issue in my graph layout is only visible when there's a large number of people. Unfortunately, it's crashing right now. All right, so let's see if that resets. Nope. Oh wait, but it works for you. Okay, so first of all, I'm laying out backwards. I would think you want to go the other way. So I don't know why it's a problem just for the top leader. Right, because you were all negative. So I think that would do that. Although maybe the pluses and minuses get changed here too. See, that is specifically X. Well, if those positions are positive or negative. But I am very confused about the fact that drawing the graph from the top leader does something bad. Now, it's probably because I'm constructing my dummy objects weird. Oh. I'm always constructing this from the current player. So the kid is following that person. We are constructing a graph position that is not the top leader. And also telling those people that we are the highest leader. Actually, highest leader, is that something that gets rebuilt? Okay, and a proper value is -1 anyway. Don't know if that'll help. So I guess the other day I was mostly testing this in more complicated scenarios because I had to do that to have... Okay, well, it doesn't crash. Okay, so I'm not sure how that'll work with realistic town sizes. And I need to see what it looks like, but with a bunch more realistic names and multiple levels. The multiple levels are a little bit tricky to do with this stuff. Well, I guess I could do that with a few manual players. Just follow the named ones. You're not starving yet. Alright, it's another baby. Now, actually, the babies would have a slightly different perspective, which gets a little weird. Because they'll add the dummy players in different places. All right. So from you, yeah. So the names overlap a little bit. Also, when you need to maybe work on the pointer positions. Well, for full names, which won't be the typical situation. Yeah. Full names are longer. Probably need a little bit more space anyway. And don't expect to see much depth in practice. And then we have to figure out edge to edge, which is going to be a little bit awkward. So a little bit more width would handle most situations. Yeah, and edges might be the only other issue then. So that has to do... Width is more like a height now. That's X. Make like just easy pick like a 200 or something. And I've just been drawing the lines to the direct points so far, which worked okay when it was Y. All right, so that's the position of our self as center. So there's the label. From label pause to target pause is... So this player to our leader, and I think I'm doing an inset by 16 on each side. So probably I need to work out one of these is the source, one of these is the target, which you'll probably look at and figure out, and base that on the name width. Okay, so I've said one of those was by 50 and one of those was by 1. So if we're drawing it from source to target, we all need to get some food. Of course, I ran down there. It's not where I had stuff set up. All right. So unfortunately, all the measurement stuff was like kind of in here. But this is going to depend on it now. So you're like doing some extra splits and things and defaults. Handling spaces. Okay, so this measure string. No. So we've got leader, we've got ourselves. Probably wouldn't end up overlapping too much into question. So this could be from. Oh, was it not name? Oh, O is the pointer too? O is the pointer. I was thinking of the dummy player thing where it was an object. Why does it crash now? Well, that might do it. Okay, so we can't do that in C. Looks like measure string may not check its argument. So is divided by 2 wrong? Or did I get those backwards? Because one is too close and one is too far. That seems better. the position to the... Well, the question mark seeps off. Okay, so that seems better to the question marks. And we got weird things going on with the long name. Maybe divided by 2 is wrong? That's going to have a different effect on each of those names. Right, because it is technically implemented as a circle. All right, and now we just don't have anything from our home name, so that doesn't seem right. So at worst, code at level 1, and then is terrible on... It's basically not there at the other one. So it's like the leader needs to be more, and our self needs to be less? No, it's because the other way. Leader is too much in ourselves, or weird. We're also seeing that large names may not have any line to speak of, which is kind of not great. So our name width seemed too big. The leader name was like overlapping. No, it's the leader name that was... Definitely need to be cut back. And then our name was like not enough. It doesn't make sense that we would have different points. That can't be right, but simply divided by 2 doesn't do it. Yeah, there's like no line now. And it also feels pretty big. Maybe it's really divided by 4, and that being too big is pushing it over into the other name? Yeah, some of these are hitting the size line of my line. Alright, so our dummy value might need to be a little bit bigger if we're cutting it down. Seems like 4 would be too much. Yeah, that's just invading even more into that name. I wonder if, like, are the points not where I think they're at? It was working okay in the other arrangement. It's like you were pointing right about at the center of a name. But that's also like overlapping. But it's weird that it's overlapping one more than the other. I mean, I guess I know that yes, it's wider, but that's supposed to be functioning as an inset feature. Unless my line code is actually wrong, I just haven't noticed it yet. Because I would think the measured width would be the width of the name. Divide that by 2, it should be the radius. Caps lock. Label inset, target inset. Okay, yeah. So we have a total inset. We have length of the final line. We have a position where we're basically drawing a line sprite and then stenciling out a circle. Is it, I had relatively even insets before. But we're adding target inset to target pause. And if it was just backwards, then reversing the insets would do that, because that's the only place they're used differently. So line is our vector. Is it possible that something's wrong with or subtracting the wrong order? So that's like label minus target. But if that was wrong, I mean, it'd just be... everything would be off. Okay, so we lost a level. But yeah, that's like completely in the opposite direction. And then the center of our draw the overall thing so we're trying to draw a line. We've got between 2 points, each of them has an inset value. I guess for our purposes here, this will actually be label position pointing at target position. So we get this vector as line. We get a total inset amount, which is like yeah, so no, actually this is line. Inset is the amount of space we want. So then this is length. So we've got total inset is this much. We're taking our target position and adding that stuff to it. Maybe I reverse it and use label position? We're using target position and target inset, so that ought to be okay. So we take target position and add molt line. Well, maybe it does end up being a vector going this way, because I'm not sure if sub is label minus target or target minus label. Is it subtract label from target or subtract or label minus target? I guess if we printed out the coordinates, we could figure that out. So we're adding line to target. That seems to tell me that it's actually a vector going this way. So line by. So half of this plus this, which is kind of 1/2 of the thing. So I say, okay, so get to there. And ratio of that, well, len plus insert, len minus insert is length of line of this entire thing. So that's just the fraction to go up from there. So that has to be the vector. What does that mean in terms of our subtraction? If this was 0, 0, pointing at like -1, -1, that would be a vector 1, 1, which would say that it is label minus target, which does actually give us the vector. I think if you reversed everything, it would still work. And since it is labeled a target, maybe that would make sense. I don't see how that really breaks anything. They should be a mirror. So then we get a stencil here and draw our line graphic with the appropriate rotation. And that gives us a line of that length. I guess I need to get some numbers. Because we've got a label pause, target pause. That gives us a line vector. We've got insets. Which should just be text lengths. Why are we getting that so offset? Maybe the offsets don't work the way I think they do. I need to... It's like it's not all... Like the width of the characters doesn't perfectly match to all of this stuff. Oh. And technically this is from the naming patch. So if we did end up making any actual changes here, that would be for something else. All right, so the things that affect math. So we've got a vector, and we've got a couple label insets. I don't really know how else to... How else to show that. So line. Nope. Yeah, you're still doubles. Probably everybody's dead. Maybe it's a disconnected Eve. All right, so all virtual players doesn't work. Or maybe you need some names. Okay, so that's the stuff that's kind of working. Okay, interesting. Okay, so those are overlapped. So we still got some layout problems too. Oh no, because that's just off screen. So that top one is the weird one. Of course, I don't know what log that was now. Because they're all going to try to write to the same stand log. Okay, I might need some way to distinguish batches. Well, it's going to repeat, right? Negative 160 to 160. And actually, the one we're interested in has a 0y, more or less. Okay, so it's one of the ones that has a 0y. T56, label 16, probably label 82. Well, no, that could be, we should have an especially long name. There are potentially two that are 0. Well, that's 1656, so 16 is a question mark. Label is the thing itself, so I guess 82. This says someone's pointing at 82. That's a 160 off. Oh yeah, target inset 82. And that's 82 pointing at another name. Oh yeah, because my Eve has a name. So we always have a delta of 196. This has a y delta of 0. We have inset of 59, 82.5. Are those reasonable widths for the amount of text we have? Because we've got Tawanda. So 118. That's like 6 characters. 165. And we've got... Well, Eve 3 is smaller than Eve 4 acre. So at 5, 6, 10. There's a slight different ratio between characters. I guess there is a space in there. I'm not sure if I counted the space. No, I did count the space, but maybe it gets handled differently. So inset of 59, inset of 82. Well, we could... It's so spammy, though. But we could just print these things. Now, I didn't put the actual positions in terms of, like, what this does to position. We could duplicate this. See if that makes any kind of sense. So inset should be an easy number. Len in a horizontal line, it should be an easy number. What else do we need? Well, we feel like it's getting over too far. But I think, yeah, 196 is the amount I said for a separation, so that distance is correct. The difference between the name lengths seems maybe less extreme than I expected. Oh? What was different there? Oh, I actually didn't want to add this, for one. But I don't know why that would have crashed. Yeah, that was like the first attempt. This is actually still some hierarchy stuff. We should have the exact same set of players we had last time. Yep. Okay, so we're looking for, I guess that would indeed be an zero. Yeah, that was a... That would be 0 with these two. 109 does feel like slightly more than halfway. Target 82. We're drawing from label 59 to 82. At 0? Wait, is that backwards? This would be from a label with a higher number. With a lower, that's 56. But you're at an offset, and that's a straight line. But if we reversed those, or I guess for our purpose, all that matters is this. That's going from target. Now you see those two look good. And then all of these don't look good. They feel like they're getting too... It's because the lines are actually getting too long. Because it's probably like a 128 line. Well, I don't want that test case. Maybe for accurate length testing, we need to shrink this down a little bit. So at most 128, and we'll get actually longer as diagonals go, which is going to be really crowded. Oh? How? I changed... Ah, there we go. I changed numbers. Yeah, that still looks wrong on these. And yet it seems to perfectly fix the other case. That looks like exactly wrong on those. Did I anchor this? No. This is a different draw line. Do I also have to... Maybe if I do that... I would also have to reverse the direction of the arrow, but I don't think that matters. I think they're symmetrical. Yeah, so that's the expected effect there. One of those lines gets a little bit too long. That's putting on a larger circle. Although that's not actually where you would expect that circle to be. That's almost telling me that half isn't the right thing. Because, like, to get out here, maybe that could be it. Okay, so you're following Evo Neal, followed your leader, and that character can't repoint themselves right now. Because that involves typing things. I guess I could try to do more interesting things with the virtual players. I don't like, well, like give them names. But you are in that chain, so they're all going to go there. And actually, this is... We're already seeing some problems here. Like, why is our top line here so super short? Well, probably here... It still feels too short. So you've got... Oh, I'm not doing the name shortening. That happens in the label right now, which is... Which is going to be a problem. Now, maybe since this is leader label, I need to have it do the pointer. Because at some point in here... Ah, that's... Yeah. I think I actually do that in the character name thing. Draw a character name label. So we've already figured out the label position by doing the graph math. Well, maybe the character label just gets the target. But if L equals null, there is no target. Well, I need water. So I'll be back in a minute. Log out here yet. There was something else playing last time I was close to it.
O Lord God, helper of those who seek you, I see you in the garden of paradise, and I do not know what I see, because I see nothing.
Kill me once they die.
Whoa!
No!
Okay, I saw that and it was awesome. Slowly glides down,
Yes,
gravity.
listen,
Wait, that's
listen.
illegal. Okay. Oh my gosh, that should be a meme. Someone clip that me slowly falling and then put those words on it. Wait, that's illegal. Death.
Wait, what thing?
Okay, so I was speared gunned, sent flying to the air. I fall.
Many viewers. May as well just start the game then. So, as you probably know, Oxygen Not Included has created an
It's sad, so oh, what just hit me? What the hell was that?
Please go to the thing I need you to do. Or not. If you're horny, let's do it. Can't see anything. My pony, that's what I wanted. Alright, we're gonna do crank gameplays.
Alright, what are we gonna do about this? We either have to recreate that, recreate the shortening. Oh, I have to handle the shortening for both of them, not just this label itself. So maybe we do have to do that externally. It's a method of the font. Which probably means that you can do some like nonlinear kerning adjustments and stuff. Measure what? Measure string. We've got a character limit. We've got a scale factor. Yeah, space width, char block width. Oh. I could measure the space position and say measure only our first name. It's a little bit of work, but it actually draws the string, so it actually does have to kind of produce the string. So stir, position of space. That's a car pointer. So for a number of characters, we actually have to do some math out of that. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a whole function for this. Maybe we should see how bad it is. I did not tag this. Let's see. So we're going to have what? We're going to have we need a result. Stir. O name. And then that could be null. With a limit of this is gonna be first base minus. Leader name width, leader name, leader name, leader name. Well, there goes some samples. You might be old enough to say stuff now. Don't remember who you were. Well, actually. So 5 and 3. Okay, so you are crashing for some reason. I think it's the dummy code. Leadership graph isn't set up quite right. And you're just about dead. Oh. They're trying to get fancy. Alright, can you see things? No, you can't. Something about the way we insert those new people. Alright, so you're O'Neill, Threet follows you, so to get a chain, we would follow Threet. Do you work now? No. That's an unconditional shrink. We don't need an unconditional shrink. This is a relation distance to us, which will work. Oh, man. If it equals -1, then it's the full name. This is starting to look more like a function, isn't it? Oh, this is not JSON style. It is getting quite complicated. Nope, not still you. Well, things are a lot closer. Because we were trying to diagnose some other things. So that was... no. Okay, we've still got some length of line issues. But yeah, that's all of our spacing stuff. We'll have to see how well that holds up to realistic things. We're already bumping the top of the screen a little bit. If that format doesn't work, so if we did vertical, we could like try alternating positions or otherwise doing it in layers. We don't have everybody all lined up. We need the full width. Maybe that'll be too wide for people in the same family. We'll have to see. All right, so we tweaked our dummy stuff. Oh, we've got dummy just on. It's not a long-term thing. Oh, right, we still wanted, that's still kind of ugly function type thing. In our comments, okay, so that's about what we expect. So this was specifically 32 in anticipation of it being cut down. I mean, I don't know that 16 is really a problem, especially as separated as those are. So we can we have this just return a, this can just be a little local function for now. Did I miss it? Oh, this is like in the middle of something. Where are you? You're actually at 47. So you're returning a width. We're not doing anything with it. Compiler may still not like it. Alright, if name. Oh, that's from an object. We don't actually have the object at this point. Now, I guess I could actually still do the if check there. Well, having a null check here is good. Our name width. All right, put those there. Ah. So that one goes there. Oh, and you're in a space not equal to null. Whereas, so that was only cutting it down. Otherwise, the previous thing, it would still measure the whole thing. Okay, you're just about dead. All right, do we have anything else? Key settings, fade in and out. So that's in testing. Variable width be more important there. You could, you'd have to look at the name widths to do the graph layout, which I don't think I like. Because it'll depend on everybody in that row now. Line length could still be an issue. Reset flag. Okay, so that's a little one. Show hierarchy. Free camera. That's kind of... they had another... that's why I don't like that name. Show hierarchy. Isn't there another... Show something? Maybe it's free camera. Oh, okay. It's mode. So that will be a project. Relation distance could be a bit of an issue there. Fade in and out is going to be a little bit of a project because you have to figure out where to take everything. I think I actually did some stuff for key settings already. But I have to do the parsing. Did that. I think we're okay with that. I'm not really sure what the UI for this would be. Maybe if we're pointing at another character when we press it. Also, well, I don't imagine that there's going to be a fast thing, but if this is a thing that just doesn't work. Be easy to test. All right, so we looked at this. One, 215. Oh, maybe it's in the wrong screen space. But, I mean, that's maybe it's math we could do. Not declared in the scope. Can we just choose that? This isn't a big function, isn't it? Camera. Variable or field declared void? Maybe it doesn't realize the type because we don't have UN16. So that's the problem. This is not necessarily cross-compatible. Or, like, do we even have this in our link path here? There we go. This is file or directory. So maybe only minor gems is set up to reference that? Are you just always case sensitive? So your SDL.h, your SDL.h. And maybe it's disconnected eaves. Maybe I found warp mouse and then it looked like an SDL2 thing. Okay. Well, the patch should tell me everything I had to do for that. And some of that was actually ended up being build setup. Okay, so that would actually be a better place to do that. Hmm. Pointer move. Got the only one copy of that? Yep. No, 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 no. And then what do we have to do to our build process? I think it's all built into here. Yeah, we did that, and that might be it. So including that doesn't directly hurt us in the meantime. So maybe that's a thing to do more when we get back to working on all the build script stuff. You know what? I found something for that, and I think what I need to do is actually do a test to see if we can observe it. Oh, I need to disable my testing. Leadership graph. Dummy function. Add dummy player. Fix. Let's play sound. Curse sound, creation sound, decay sound, hunger sound, eating sound, using sound, dropping, babies using sound, hunger sound. I seem to have missed it. Tutorial sound. There's a using sound. I know I saw this. Floor changed. Count sound. Play players using sound. Don't think so. Creation sound, clothing sound, generic pickup sound, eating sound, use players using sound for pickup. That creation will play of our transition. Oh, it's not a transition. Next action, eating. Hunger sound. Alright, so I seem to have missed it. Off screen. No, it's out of range. And there are some other things that check that, but then this one doesn't. It did another quick update to that. Pending received messages. You've never heard an official No atom sounds if out of range. And then somewhere down here, it's an eating sound. I thought it was like right next to it. So we do that. There's a decay sound. Is that... It's the decay sound for an emote. I thought it was like we did this. We did anim sound. And there was something else for like writing sound. Oh, it's handle anim sound. Which ends up calling that. Yeah, holding ID. If holding ID greater than 0. So it would presumably check to see if this thing has a if it has an animation. And if it's playing, okay, well, yeah, there's, okay, so you, vector from camera. There's your off-screen sound stuff. Is that deliberately wide? So that you can get off-screen sounds from out-of-range players. Okay, this is off-screen sound for the bang things. Yeah, if this object is holding something, so the condition we want to test to see if this is even an issue. Holding ID, current anim, current pause. That's absolute position. We can probably track our position from messages. I guess what I really care about is their current pause versus their effective position. When those things are very different. All right. O ID. O. Holding ID. O. Current pause dot X. O. Current pause dot Y. Is it XD and YD? It's holding ID. I don't know if I can really test this. This might be more of a play with it and see if we can catch it. I might be getting time to restock the food. Alright, that's going to require 2 players. It's going to require 2 adult players. And some guesswork about what's actually happening. Well, I guess you only need an adult. I just have the bigger food bar would still be nice. To ride the horse. Yep. Alright, can I get you... Oh, I had it. Well, I need it specifically on your screen, but... Oops. But sometimes you get the thing where it's like just writing and writing and writing and writing, and I don't quite know... Okay. So you're gonna leave. For a little bit. So you have left that person's range. They have not left yours. Now you're going to be far enough away that we're not going to get any more updates about you when we go back. Well, that's reproduction. $22. Oh. So the player is still considered at that location. But they are considered off screen or out of range. So the fix would be that. Now I've got to get the reproduction down again. I guess the permanent running animation could also be a little bit of an implication here. All right, so you're there. Your food's not too bad. I need to get a permanent running animation on your screen. Last time I kind of did it over here somewhere. Oop. I keep looking at the screen I'm moving on, which isn't necessarily okay. Oh, maybe the flip threw it off. I think I was clicking last time. I'm getting sounds from that one. It's not the one I need. So part of it is getting the infinite run thing going. I got it on my own screen, but I can't drop the horse. Aha. Okay. And I don't actually know what out of range is. Oop. I could probably look it up in the server or something. I mean, maybe figuring out the permanent running animation would be another little exercise. Try not to run into the boar. Ah, wild garlic. And we've got no sound. Oop. I should probably do some Arctic, right? Yeah. And we'll play with it today, and then if that works out, we can, like, push it down to the bottom, turn it into a regular patch, and see if it sticks. Is this how we test out of range? Yeah, just if out of range. Although that's very often by returning, but I don't think that'll work here. There's a, but only if not in range. So yeah, it's been a common situation. Just missed that one case. All right, so that'll be my tester for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for support from subscribers and everybody who hosted me. What do we got? Yeah, thanks for watching. This is when I am usually on, so this is pretty typical. Well, probably gonna go watch Aaron working on some Elm stuff. It's a little bit different than the game programming. He is doing like more like test-oriented Elm programming, which is going to be a bit more web-focused for the most part. But he is very knowledgeable about all that stuff, and usually has some pretty good commentary on design and things. So if you look for someplace cool to hang out, that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye, and until next time.